Howdy, howdy, Tony. This is another TVP, and as everyone who's ever actually perfected the 2-on-1 build has noted, you also are noting that TVP is ridiculously easy. And there's almost nothing that Protoss can do to change that, and it's very sad for poor Protoss. So you get a scout over of his base. He's got no chrono boost saved up. It seems like he's going to 1 gate fast expand, and sure enough, he does the 1 gate fast expand into 3 gate with chrono boosts all being spent on warp gate technology. This is like the most common build right now. This is what like every Protoss does. And at 6 minutes, you only have $725 of army, so something went drastically wrong with your own base. And I don't know what it was because I was watching his base. So let's watch again. First Marine is out, and you don't have enough gas for your reactor core. That's what went wrong. You didn't put the 3 guys on gas early enough, and so now you're sitting here with a Rex with no gas to make the reactor core, and so your reactor core starts like 30 seconds late. And now your army is going to be 30 seconds behind, which is $100 behind. I think you were a total of 200 behind by the time. By 6 minutes, so let's see. Was it just... Yeah, you're constantly using these buildings. It's just that they got started too late. So you should be at 825, because, like, if we wait just a second, you're going to queue this out. No, I guess you're not. Whoops. you missed 20 seconds of production there. But anyway, even done poorly, the 2-Rax poke is still ridiculously powerful, so it's okay. So here we go, just mopping up everything that he throws over at you. I love when people 3-gate expo and then think that they can be aggressive with their army, and you just rip it to shreds. It's very silly. He's been misinformed as to whether or not you can be aggressive with the army that he has. And now you're gonna go for the follow-up. I'm just a second longer. Okay, I'm gonna stop here and look. You got 2450 of army, 30 workers. 300 of research, and one of your siege tanks didn't even come. He just didn't even participate in the fight. So this is terrible, and I believe you're still going to win, even though this is terrible, because this build is so strong you can win without doing it right. But you should really endeavor to do it right anyway, even though you can win without doing it right. So you've got 2,700 minus the siege tank is like $2,500 of army at 10 minutes at his base. He only has 2,500 army as well, but you should really be shooting for 4,000 on the 2-on-1 or 3,500 at least. So that means you're like $1,000 behind. $1,000 behind. And you're still kicking his little tiny butt. You pulled 7 workers, which isn't really a lot. One of the best ways to lose with this push is to not pull enough workers and then realize, okay, sure, I have more workers back home making reinforcements, but because I lost the push, there's absolutely no way I can win this game. And that's always disappointing. I think that the reason you only pulled 7 workers, though, is because you only had 30. You were short 8 workers, so you pulled 8 fewer workers than you normally would be able to pull. And so that's a good choice. You left enough back home. You probably left 22 back home to keep mining. You ripped that guy to shreds basically because his force fields were terrible. I mean, he should have been able to beat you with what he had. Actually, no, not with what he had. He should have been able to beat you with what he should have had going 3-gate Nexus with a Robo. Like, he should have had a much bigger army than he did. So you're just really abusing the kiting, and I love it. You're keeping out of range of this Immortal for a really long time, killing basically all of his probes before his Immortal even gets any shots off, and just kind of ripping him to shreds. And you know, I used to go for stim all the time, but by not having stim, your army is still like at full health after you kill everything he has and his Nexus. So great job. Ripped him to shreds, caught him right when he was transitioning into another tech, and he just generally was very weak. I feel like he didn't make enough workers early enough. Let's see. At 8 minutes, I want him to have, what, like 45 workers, and he has 31. So yeah, he just didn't do this right. The reason that the 3-gate with chrono boosted warp gate technology with a Nexus after your first gate build is really common is because if you do it right and you scout properly, you can be ready for a push. And if you scout properly and see that no really super powerful push is coming, you can just chrono boost the heck out of probes. So you can be safe in either way. But one big vulnerability is that if you don't really understand the purpose of the build, you can end up not making enough workers, and then having an early nexus is hurting you if you're not really fully mining from it. So anyway, you messed up your build, he messed up his build, and your army was just like designed to kill his army, and you did it really well, and he died. Boom, 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 boom. Those force fields, like if he'd force fielded behind you with that many zealots, he should have been able to really kick your butt. Guardian Shield, Heavy Zealot with an Immortal with no Stalkers is like the ideal composition to try to beat what you had. But it really requires the force fields to be perfect, and the way you were keeping your army really far away from him just kind of made it so that he could never get the force fields he wanted. So see, what were those force fields about? Like, those were ridiculous. And no Guardian Shield means, like, Guardian Shield cuts your damage in half. No Guardian Shield means that you're doing almost double damage. And his Zealots never even fire. He keeps putting down force fields in front of his Zealots. Really bad. So he knew what units to make, he just didn't know how to use them. Anyway, good job. Just fast forward and watch him GG. Because this game is over. Dun 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 dun. Here comes your tank. Here comes your tank. Here comes your air unit. And he leaves. So, not surprising.